Hi, this is Angelique Goddess and welcome to your weekly reading. This is for the week of the 18th of May. Do keep in mind though, this is for the next 2 weeks I've picked up and even going into the next 3 weeks. Apologies I wasn't able to make a video last week for the weekly reading. I've just moved state, so moved new city, and so yeah, new beginnings there. Now, the first message I got was there's going to be astronomical growth in all areas for this week and beyond. I feel that things have been very stagnant, which really does represent the way that we have been living for the last 2 months in isolation. We will have a feeling that we are gaining some momentum, even if it's just small wins. We will have this knowing that there is momentum happening now. We're no longer stagnant. And I was given the message that we need to focus on a small focal point. So 1 or 2 things max. 3, and we're just going to become too overwhelmed. Now, this could just be certain areas of your life. It could be if you're taking on a new project or whatever it may be in your life. I am picking up strongly to only focus on 1, max 2 things. Now, the reason for this is that we're going through the ascension process. And what is happening, and I've found this myself, is that when we go to sleep at night, we're receiving downloads, and so much information is just flooding our subconscious right now, and it can only take on so much. The energy body, our mind, our spirit, it can only take on so much. So if you're putting so much emphasis of energy in this physical world into your consciousness, and then when you go to sleep at night, you need that time to rest, but you're not getting that full proper rest because you are being flooded with all these downloads. And I have found this myself. Like the last few nights, I've slept a lot more than I usually do, and I do find it hard to get a good night's sleep. But I'm waking up still quite tired. And that's because we are working as we are sleeping. Our subconscious is working. So just being kind to yourself and not taking on too much at the moment is really what I'm strongly getting. Even as I am talking now, I'm really getting that emphasis on just pull back, because I feel that a lot of us, or some of us, are really wanting to go full guns blazing and just feeling like energized, feeling more inspired. And we are wanting to start new things, or new things will come into our life, and we'll really want to get amongst it. But slow and steady wins the race is the words I'm getting right now. So just focusing on 1 or 2 things is what's going to help you in the more short to medium term. We're also going through healing of our emotions. Now, I'm picking up this as emotions that have come up in the recent past. So with everything that we have all been going through with the virus and all these huge life changes and these upheavals, it has brought about a lot of not just disturbance, but a lot of adjusting, and it's brought up emotions. Even if you haven't been too affected by it emotionally, when you go to sleep at night, you're not only just receiving these downloads, but you're also, spirit is healing those recent emotions. And by doing that, we're able to rejuvenate and not get bogged down. Now, I was very clearly told who or what you thought you were 1 year ago is no longer, and that's going to become very prevalent to you. You'll be reminded of this in one shape or form over the next 2 weeks. Those that have only just come online and have only just gone through the awakening process to this more deeper level. It'd be more over the next 3 weeks. When I first heard that, I was like, but wouldn't that be the case anyway? Because we're always evolving. But I'm picking up, we're really going to be shown that it's almost like some of the jigsaw pieces will start to make sense. You'll have these lightning bolt moments, even periods of time that were quite a while ago, like even 5 years ago. You'll say to yourself, oh, I see why I did that, or why that happened. It's almost like you're able to see the reason or the intention behind something that happened in your life that brought you to the destination, or where, it led you to. And it all just I just see this jigsaw puzzle, it all coming together. Now, I also see that new patterns will start to emerge that will make us more conscious and more aware of why it is that situations are playing out. And our awareness is increasing, our consciousness is increasing. We're going to be more basically aware of our heightened consciousness. And it's almost like I see clarity. We're going to have more clarity, and that will also assist us moving forward in difficult situations or decisions that we may need to make coming into the future. And this kind of leads into what this message I received after, which is that we're coming into a crossroads and you'll need to make a decision. Will I be empowered enough to grasp onto the amount of courage that is required to walk the line? When I first heard that, I was like, walk the line. And that is to be able to go into this next phase of your development, the next phase of life. And there will be fear that will come in, that will disempower you. And it's so easy to go down that rabbit hole of fear. What's going to distinguish you from being empowered rather than being disempowered is how quickly you're able to pull yourself out of that fear and out of that space that is ultimately is really going to, I feel, hinder your growth and hinder your opportunity to be able to go into this next phase of your life. Now, these are really, really strong messages I'm getting here. I think we are coming into, quite an important time of, it's almost like we've had this resting time in isolation, and now we're starting to come out of that, and we're having to make some not so much tough decisions, but, well, it is a decision. You are making decisions, but how much you're able to cope with those decisions with all these emotions like fear and pain and loss. But it's that, am I going to allow myself to be empowered or disempowered? And the fear is what is what's really going to be the obstacle here. And I have been given some messages around how to deal with that, and it's amazing because the 3 cards I got for that was love heals fear, and talk about your feelings, and exercise. These holistic ways of doing things that feed our heart, feed our mind, feed our body is what's going to bring us into an empowered state. So whatever those 3 things mean to you, love heals fear, talk about your feelings, and exercise. Talk about your feelings. That can be journaling, that could be if you see a counsellor or a therapist, or speaking to a trusted friend. And exercise, that can be moving your body, It can be yoga, it can be running, whatever form of exercise that you do or that makes you feel good is, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And I also feel that I also picked up just then exercising your mind, so that will be meditation. And then love heals fear. I mean, the opposite of fear is love. So going into your heart space and finding that love. I'm also picking up praying as well. So praying and bringing in love, opening up your heart space, anything that takes yourself away from fear into love. I feel that this is very much a self-will that we're coming into. It's almost like we've been given the tools, the information. There's so much out there, and it's up to us now to, decide. Are we going to be empowered? Are we going to be disempowered? And are we going, and it's up to us now. So those are the messages for the week of the 18th of May. I'll be back next week with the weekly update. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell and share my videos. And you have a great week. All right, thank you.